Hello, 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 and happy Thursday. And so Pluto has now moved into the sign of Aquarius. This is a major shift that is going to be affecting every for the next 20 years. And so we're going to talk about today how this transit, how this shift into Aquarius is going to be affecting you. And so, if you are new to me, to my page, to any of my content in social media land, my name is Kay Catrice. I am the Natal Chart Navigator. I am an intuitive energy reader and astrologer. And I help open minded, ambitious, beautiful inside and out women to understand who they are energetically. And I do that by showing them how to read and understand their natal charts. And so, Pluto is in Aquarius. Okay. So we've had quite a few shifts of energies um, this month, the month of March. Excuse me. March is has been a very transformative March month when it comes to energies. It's been very shifting. We've had some major transits, and so this is a really big transit that we've had that we're having today. And so let's really first talk about Pluto so that you can get the context of what's going on here. So Pluto has just left the sign of Capricorn. Okay. And so Pluto represents psychic, psychological, and emotional power. Okay. It's intensity, it's passion, it's obsession. It also is compulsions. And so wherever you have Pluto in your chart, you may be compulsive, obsessive, or very intense about whatever area of life you have Pluto in. Okay. Pluto energy also brings paranoia and suspicion and conspiracy, power struggles, and betrayal. It's also past life karma, and it's pretty intense karma, but it's all and traumatic. Um, but it's experiences that drive our behaviors during this lifetime. So it's things that happened in the past that we are now still dealing with in this lifetime. Okay. It also is deep fears and insecurities. Okay. And now, but the energy is also an energy of purging, of excretion, of release and surrender. And it's surrender, whatever you have to surrender when it comes to your Pluto placement or Pluto energy. It is a strong attachment to something that holds either psychological or emotional value for you. Okay. And so, wherever you have Pluto in your chart, it shows where we need to release control. Okay. And so, have, hey, beautiful, how are you? And so, when we talk about Aquarius energy, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. Okay. It's the 11th sign of the zodiac. And this energy is all about the collective, it's the energy of the humanitarian. And it is what is best for the group. Okay. Um, it is very unusual. It's eccentric. If you know anybody who has strong Aquarius energy, say they are Aquarius sun, moon, or Aquarius rising, you know that they are a very eccentric type of person. Okay. And no matter what planet is in the sign of Aquarius, it's going to be expressed in a very eccentric way. It's going to be expressed in a way that the energy is for the group, no matter the placement, no matter the planet or luminaries. It's for the group. The energy is all about what's best for the group. Okay. It is fixed energy, meaning, and it's air energy. So it's in the middle of winter. And so it's that energy that um, drives, it's like Capricorn initiates. And then Aquarius energy is that stick to it, keep going, don't give up type of energy. Okay. Um, it's a very non-conformist type of energy. it's all about marching to the beat of its own drum. And the polarity, the opposite energy of Aquarius is Leo. Okay. And so when we look at Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius, um, if you look at what's going on, Aquarius rules the internet. It has ties to, so it has tie. It rules all of the internet, but it also has ties to social media because social media is on the internet. Okay, and so when you look at what's going on with the Facebook, TikTok, what they got going on, and having the hearings and all of that, that started when Pluto was in 29 degrees of Aquarius of Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn energy rules governments, and it rules Capricorn rules governments. It also rules like systems, hierarchy, corporations. Okay, Facebook is a corporation, TikTok corporation, um, and so when you have Pluto is transformation, okay? And so there's going to be transformation when it comes to social media. There's going to be transformation when it comes to how things are done in the government. You're going to see a lot of leaders that are going to rise up, that are very progressive, that think out of the box, that want to move away from the old Capricornian structure of government and bring in a fresh, new perspective when it comes to government. Okay. Now, if you look at what's going on with the banks closing, okay, Saturn is in the sign of Pisces. It just moved to Pisces on the 7th, okay? And so you have Saturn in a sign. Pisces energy is a boundless energy, but it's also an energy that will disappear, okay? It's Pisces energy rules drugs, it rules escapism, it rules also things that are hidden or in between realms. And so the banks disappearing, okay? The banks shutting down, that's the disappearing, okay? But then you have Uranus, which is the other ruler, the modern ruler of Pluto in the sign of Taurus. Taurus rules money, okay? Taurus is all about money, security, stability, okay? It rules banks as well. And so you have Uranus. Uranus, the planet of shock. Is shock and sudden change. And so you have these banks that are suddenly shutting down, okay, and disappearing. That is because you have those are where the rulers of Aquarius is, right? But then you have Pluto, which is the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation. And so there's going to be transformation. You're going to see over the next 20 years, there's going to be transformation in our money. Okay. And we're already seeing that with how, things are moving more digital. A lot of people are getting away from having cash or carrying cash or keeping cash on them, and they are moving to having a lot of digital financial assets. Okay. That's Uranus in Taurus. Okay. Um, there's also going to be a lot of things are going to be not only disappearing, but also you're going to see things being revealed because Saturn is structure, it's discipline, it's karma, it's foundations. And so things are going to be revealed that will shift how uh, how things are done. Okay. And so when you have Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, it's going to be a lot of transformation. Not just in the government. Okay, that's going to be one transformation that we're all seeing right now, not just in the banking system but also within like groups of people. Okay, groups of people where they are no longer wanting to they're wanting to reform their groups, they're wanting to change how the groups are structured, change how they operate as a group. Um, and that's just on a more mundane level. You're going to see there's going to be a lot of humanitarian groups that things are going to come out where they really aren't as humanitarian as they have put up the front, what they show to the world as being humanitarian. Things are going to start coming out that you're going to see that they're really not so humanitarian. And some of the practices and the things that they do or the things that they support really are the opposite of what it is that they are showing to the world. Okay. On a more personal level, when you're looking at where Aquarius is fault, where this energy, this transit is going to be happening in your chart, there's going to be a lot of, you know, surface level things, surface level connections, surface level relationships, no matter the relationship, business or personal. There's going to be a lot of shifting, a lot of changing. It's going to be where um, people are going to want more depth, okay, because Pluto energy is a very deep transformative energy. And so um, people are going to want more depth in their relationships. They're going to want more depth, um, within the things that they are doing. Because Pluto does nothing surface. It's very deep. It is the modern ruler of Scorpio. Okay. And Scorpio energy is an energy that, it seeks emotional security, and it does nothing surface, and it wants to know that it is secure. It wants to build a deep, intimate connection with whatever it is. Okay. And so you want to, this is going to be a time where you definitely, if you have not pulled your natal chart, you need to. If you are kind of just like, this stuff is a little interesting, or, you need to, because you need to see how these energies are going to be affecting you for the next 20 years. Now, we may not see right away, you may not see the transformation, okay? You may not see that because Pluto is like it's slow transformation, but it's because the transit is so long, it takes a while for you to start really seeing the transformation that will be going on right away. Um, but you'll start to feel it before you see it. Okay. You may have been, if you're anything like me, because I am sensitive to the energies, my sleep pattern this month has been all over the place. Trying to get some type of a routine has been like non-existent, so I just gave up. And then now it's just like, however the wind, how it flows, that's how I go. Um, and that's one of the things that you do want to do because these are such major transits. You want to just allow things to flow. Once, we've been in the energy for a while, we will start to get used to the energies, and life will it start kind of, going back. I won't say to normal, but things are kind of start going back to where it feels, you know, it doesn't feel so all over the place. We're not so sensitive to the energy anymore. We will have gotten used to it, and things are kind of simmered down. But for the next at least a month or so, okay, um, one of the things that you want to do is to really, really just take in everything that's going, and just allow yourself to just flow. Okay, however it flows, just go that way, because it all works out in the end. It always does. But we just have to get used to the shifting of the energies. Now, Pluto will retrograde back into Capricorn one or two times before it actually stations direct permanently in the sign of Aquarius, where it will stay until 2044. I'm sorry, until 2044. It'll station permanently in Aquarius in 2024. Not quite sure of the exact date, but it will station there in 2024, and then once it does, it'll be there until 2044. Okay. And so 20 years of transformation, 20 years of, deep connections, 20 years of changes to not only how we, um, how we are in partnership, but um, how things are just played out. Aquarius is the higher octave of Mercury, and so um this is going to be an energy that everything is going to be heightened. It's outside in the car. Everything is going to be heightened. And uh our thoughts are also going to be on a higher thinking plane, because Aquarius, Uranus is the higher octave of, okay, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Aquarius is the higher octave of Gemini. Okay. And so everything is going to be heightened. Everything is going to be, you're going to think about things um, from a more detached state, not going to be so attached to outcomes or attached to things or people. Things are going to be a little more detached because there's going to be so much shifting and changing done. And for those um, who are going to have a hard time with change, you may want to work on that now, because when Pluto moves into a sign, change is inevitable. Nothing remains the same. And so there could be changes within your career. You might decide to start purging a career, and it just depends upon where you have Aquarius in your chart, where you have Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto in your chart, because those areas of life are going to be major, major focus of change for you within the next 20 years. Um, Hello, my love. How are you? So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of change. People who have prominent Aquarius energy will definitely feel this. So if you are Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, Mars, if you have it on one of the four angles, so your ascendant, descendant, midheaven, or IC, then you are definitely going to be feeling this energy as it's going to be more prominent for you versus others. And if you're somebody who is sensitive to energies, you're definitely going to feel this more than other people. Okay. So just, really get into, a flow mode and just allow things to be, um, because we're going to be here for 20 years. Okay. And so I hope you found value in this live. If you did, share it out so others can find value as well. Also, if you like this type of content, if you are starting to see how, the sky really does influence us here on Earth, if you are starting to see how it really, how you can really utilize this information to make major changes and shifts in your life to attract to you, to bring to you what it is that you want to see in your life, then you definitely want to join the my student community. We go more in depth in the community. There's homework. There is I think we're doing the first Q&A tomorrow. for the community. We just had the new moon intention setting for the community, supplemental resources. And so if you want to get in, I will put the link in the comments for you to join. I would love to have you there. And it's not my thing, it's a community thing. It's, for the women who want to take control of their lives and they want to learn how to navigate their lives energetically, because at the end of the day, we are energetic beings. And once you know how to utilize your energies properly to get what it is that you want, your life totally changes. Um, totally changes. So, if you want to do that, I will drop the link in the comments so that you can join that. And remember, possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, then you definitely can hold it in your hand. And that should make you smile because you really do create your own reality. Have a good one, guys.